Okay.
Hello, my name is Daniel Lichman, and I've travelled to Akmenė from London, where I live, and that's my home. I found out recently that my ancestors come from this place, Akmenė. My ancestors were Jewish, and they left in the 1880s, and they would have lived here for a few generations before that. And I've come to Akmenė just to be here and to experience the land here. I've become very curious about what I might experience or sense if I just came here and walked on this land, and whether I'd have a sense of familiarity or what ideas might come to me while I've been here. And I've been walking around and wandering around, and it's been very generative for my thinking. It's helped me connect with ideas and parts of myself that I didn't really realize or know about. It's been an interesting time. And while I was walking in the park, I noticed these beautiful sculptures, and I was so curious about them. They were really fascinating to me. And I was curious also about the experience of my Jewish ancestors, where traditionally in Judaism we focus on the words and writing and the text and the spoken words, and not always so much on sculptures and images. So I became very interested in what it was, whether there were connections or disconnections in experiencing sculptures. And then when I met this amazing artist, he told me that the ideas that he has had for the art that he's created have come from him listening to the land. I said to him, "Did you have a teacher?" And he said to me that his teacher is the land itself. And that really fascinated me, because that helps me understand that regardless of whether it's expressed in spoken words, written words, engravings, or simply in song and dance or love and anything else, that his work is showing me how generative the land is here. And that makes my imagination run wild about how generative the land has been for my family in the past. And then that makes me also realize that I always knew that when my family migrated from here in the 1880s, because of the restrictions for Jews here from the Russian government, the May laws passed in the 80s that made life very difficult for Jews here, I knew that there was an experience of a kind of rupture, of the disconnect of being of migrating. But I hadn't really thought about the aspect of the migration also being the loss of connection to land. So it's very powerful for me to be here, to have a sense of actually just how painful that rupture might have been. And also in some way that it's quite hard to speak of, how that might have come down the generations and affected me in some way. That it's both the rupture of migration, but also what it is to be taken from the land that has held you, and the land which has held your relationships, the land which in ways that are hard to speak of has expressed something through you. And in the case of us Jews, I know that my ancestors prayed the prayers that I myself pray when they lived here. And so when I have said these prayers, I have a sense that the land already knows them and is familiar. And then when I see the work that I see here, this amazing art, I realize that this is real. This is not just me making stuff up in my mind, that there really is an experience of when someone such as this amazing artist connects and listens, it expresses itself. So I've learned from you and from being here, and for me this has really touched me as I connect with my own history. So thank you.